So, yes, yes, ma'am.
One of the things we wanted to talk about are the two potentials for being in an RV. Our dream, so to speak, has gone from way far one direction all the way to the other. And I think a lot of it has been dragging this guy along with me on my crazy ideas. So one of the things is we have reasons for being full-time RVers parked and full-time RVers traveling.
So let's start with parked first, and the big number one is to save money. Right now, we're just starting out, and we need to find out what the expenses are going to be. We kind of have an idea, but obviously, once we start, we're gonna find out right away what's it going to cost. So we want to see where we can save some money before we get out there on the road.
The next thing that's really important to us is our community. We have grown to really love the community that we're in now. This has become our new home. This really is home to us. And we love our church. We love our family nearby. We love the friends that we've made. Our daughter really loves her school. And so those are some of the things that we definitely want to do, things like finish out the school year for our daughter so that she doesn't feel like she's been pulled out of school and out of the stability that she's used to. We are hoping by next summer that we will be in the RV, and potentially on Peter's vacation times and stuff, we'll be able to start traveling and testing the wheels and testing out everything on our RV lifestyle and see if this is something we really want to do.
Number 3 that we're looking at, Christy's kind of already touched on that, but we're going to work on transitioning to that RV life. Moving things is, I mean, obviously that's a big thing, but we need to be able to shrink down what we have to the point where we can actually move it into the RV, or make that decision of what we might store in the storage unit if needed. But that goes back to point 1 on saving money.
Yeah.
So we're going to make some decisions and see where we can go to make that transition.
Something else is getting the RV ready to travel, because we know that there's more than just buying an RV and plugging it into a few outlets. Mm-hmm. We know that there's going to be hoses and bungee cords and electrical and batteries and solar panels and all kinds of things that we're going to need to be able to make it portable in a motorhome. So one of the things is that we're going to have to start acquiring things, and most importantly is acquiring knowledge on how to take care of the RV and how to make sure that we are in the thing that best fits our family.
Number 5 is learning how to drive the darn thing.
This applies more to him than me.
I'm used to driving a very small compact car right now to work. Our daughters have named it the Black Bullet. And it's a wonderful car, great gas mileage, especially on the commute that I have right now. But that's a little bit harder to transition from that to, say, a Class A.
Or a Class C.
Yeah,
or a travel trailer with a hitch.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of learning. And unfortunately, it's a very steep curve, because if you damage your RV, you've just damaged your house. So we want to make sure that we are planning a little bit. I know you can't plan for everything, but at least that...
practicing.
Yes.
We want to practice.
Yeah.
Hauling our home around.
So those are our 5 reasons to go full-time parked for an RV.
One of the other things that we've talked about in the progression of our dream was to eventually buy land, move our RV onto it, and then be able to build our home. We've talked a lot extensively about homesteading and potentially, having the kind of lifestyle where, we can be self-sufficient in a lot of ways. And so this is kind of going back to the RVing, that's kind of just our goal, is to be independent, self-sufficient, but an RV affords us the freedom to be able to travel a lot more, as well as the ability that when we do find that perfect piece of land, we'll be able to afford to be able to buy it, but then we can just move our home onto it.
Okay, so we've talked about our options for why we want to park our RV. We're going to move over to our reasons to why we're going to want to go full-time RV travel. So is to make use of the RV. I mean, if we're getting a mobile house and we're getting it all set up and we have it all set up to live, why not take it to places and check out things? So we're hoping to be able to do some traveling and go out and for me, I can share some of experiences and hopefully some of the things that I remember as a teenager and as a young kid are still around, so that I can show my kids and let them see some of the history that I've experienced.
Something else is that I have slowly began to discover, and I wouldn't say I know because I think it's something you have to experience to understand, but slowly began to discover that there is a huge RV community, and I would like to get to meet some of these people and experience some of the things they experience. They seem wonderful and they seem very helpful. I grew up where there was a lot of winter Texans, and so we did a lot of community events in the we called them mobile home parks, RV parks, retirement communities, but there were a lot of RVers there, whether they were winter Texans, snowbirds, whatever you want to call them. But there was a lot of great people that I met, and I think that I would like to expose my kids to that kind of lifestyle as well, and those kinds of great people. Inspire others to find their dream. That's been something where I'm a big dreamer, and I have always wanted to be able to go whole hog into a lot of things, and I think that if we can do it in our very limited experiences in life and our very limited places we've been and things we've done, and so especially in the last 11 years since we've been together, I think we'd be able to inspire others to be able to go out and to have their dream. I know that it's been a challenge for the last 3 years approximately to get Peter to want to live this dream too. So how do you feel about it? Is it now your dream, or is it just still mine?
Well, looking forward to the journey. You know, the thing is that we never know where we're going to end up. And I mean, I started as a kid in upstate New York, moved down to North Carolina, and then ended up in Texas. So you really don't know. And to say that something can't be done, or it's not going to be interesting, or it's not going to be fun, you know, you don't know until you try it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and what the adventure is going to take us. So it's never going to be boring. And I just have to find it. Actually, all of us, everybody in life has to find the fun in what's going on, because there's no way. If you're not looking, you're probably going to be bored or you're going to be frustrated. So find the fun in life. That's the important thing. Okay, so the question is now, what do we need to do to achieve our dream to have that RV? And the big thing is, first off, is to clear debts. We don't have a lot of debts right now. We've done a pretty good job on cutting a lot of that, but you know, when you have a big roll of bologna, you can only cut it so many ways. So what we're looking at is, where do we slice the money to make sure that we are not only enjoying where we're at right now, but making sure we're planning for the future. So that's a big thing, is looking at our debts and making sure that we're kind of living debt free.
Clearing out junk. So one of the things that when we sold our big house and moved up here, we got rid of, I think it was two 10-foot, that was a 16-foot.
Well, it was at least
two moving trucks.
It was at least a 2-car garage worth of stuff that had accumulated, and not just our stuff, but our family stuff.
And so we got rid of so much stuff, and we felt so light. We felt like we had a huge burden taken off our shoulders when we got rid of that, and we were able to move up here. We actually got almost everything we owned other than clothing and toiletries in a 10-by-10 storage unit, which was great. But then we moved into our cabin, and it's kind of, you know, like bunnies, it's multiplied. And so we are definitely wanting to minimalize and downsize a lot of stuff that we've collected, and even some of the stuff that I've realized we moved straight from the storage unit into a small storage unit closet in the back of our cabin. I haven't even seen this stuff in 6 months or more. Do we really need it?
I have.
Do we really need the junk? We don't need the junk. So that's something else, is we want to get rid of junk.
Yes. After junk is saving money, and kind of, again, I guess I get the money, right? What we want to do is be prepared. Not that I was the best Boy Scout, but we do want to make sure that we have money to be able to enjoy this, because nothing's more stressful than worrying about what you're going to do to pay for something. So our plan right now is getting financially secure, but also finding that right RV and having that money ready to put the down payment on either completely on a used one or looking at that brand spanking new one.
Buying an RV that works for the family. We're not really sure. We've never done this before. We know that we obviously have to have a place to sleep for everybody. And then from there, having the room for the essentials that we need. Some of the things that are essential for me is that we have room for our clothes, but we don't have so much clothes that we don't have room for anything else. So that's something I've been working on, is downsizing our closets. As well as laundry, because as every mother knows, laundry is the true never-ending story. And when you have 2 daughters, they wear more than just 1 or 2 articles of clothing. It is non-stop laundry.
Well, you start in shorts, and at some point in the day, you have to wear a dress.
Have to. You just have to. And it has to spin.
Yes.
And twirl. It just has to. Especially when you're 3.
Oh, yeah.
So having room, having the right RV for our family that will work, that will get us from point A to point B to point C to point D and all the way back home again, will hopefully potentially get us there comfortably. Something else is going to be finding a place to park full time. One of the biggest requirements is that our daughter gets to finish her school year. If we are able to buy an RV mid-school year, we want to be able to find a place to park it so that she can finish that, because we don't want to rip her out of her comfort zone too quickly.
Well, it's a big transition right now from going from the tiny house into an RV, and you just don't want to add more
stress
to your life. So that's a really big thing.
So finding a great place for us to park here in our community without foregoing some of the necessities, like internet for jobs. I am starting a new job where I'll be working from home, and so I'll be able to do that, but I'm going to have internet, hookups, stuff like that. So finding the right place for our family here locally. I'd also like to be able to find something that's still in our community but has less of a commute for Peter, because he drives an hour plus every day back and forth to work. And if we have a mobile home, why not move that closer to his work so that he doesn't have to do that?
Which ties into our next reason, is to decide really if we can live in an RV long term. So that includes commute, cost of living, school, a lot of those things that we've just talked about.
Is it really saving us money? I think that's going to be one of the biggest things too. As it is right now, our bills as well as our rent are high, and so are we going to be able to trim the fat and be able to save money while doing this?
Yes.
One of the things that's important to us with sharing this on our YouTube channel, doing this and sharing it with our friends and family, is also that we are sharing our heart and we're sharing our passions. We're not out to do this to make tons of money. We're not out to do this to replace jobs or anything like that. We're just doing this because we want to be able to document and have this kind of out there in the ether so that we're able to share it and grow and also learn from our mistakes. And also hopefully the RV community and the community out there will be able to help us grow. So if you have any comments, put them below. Hopefully we will be able to continue to make videos. We have quite a few that we've been kind of building up to, where we've checked out RVs, where we've traveled around town and done fun things with our family, especially our cabin life right now.
Well, thank you guys for watching, and we look forward to sharing more with you. Take care.
Bye. Subscribe.